Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Good morning, Bobby. Good morning, chat. Good morning, everyone. How's it going?
Morning. Pate glad we're back before the big trouble boss fight begins. Vero/Hero/Roy Studio. I'm assuming you mean VRM Studio/Vroid Studio, the anime avatar maker. Exporting. Head only is safest. Hiding body at runtime is the duct tape method and loves leaving artifacts. Unsolicited advice. Start downloads before you hit go live unless you enjoy watching progress bars for content. Yep, that's me. Your friendly neighborhood typo autocorrect goblin. Unsolicited advice.
Hey, goblin.
Write the plan down before the big trouble kid gets home. Future you will thank you. Also, if the download is slow, blame streaming first, then your ISP, then the moon phasey in that order.
And we're working on this soon. It's bad. It's bad. All right. How do I do this again? Let's hit that. Hello. It's me. It is me. All right. So let's start off with some rose thorn bud. And yeah, I was going to say music should start. All right. So here we go. Rose thorn bud. Hello. Rose. How's that? Ah, look at that. Great. A bunch of roses. We had a great Mother's Day. And Wyatt did a really, really good job of participating this year. We did a bunch of different things. We made fresh pesto, like from scratch, and he did most of the work. He got really into it. Would never eat it, would never taste it until this time around when he actually made it. And he was like, oh, this is really good. It's like, yeah, dude, it's very good. So that was good. So vegan pesto was great. Came out great. How do you make pesto without cheese? You use Nooch. Nooch is a secret vegan recipe, secret ingredient only vegans know about. Look that up. It's called Nooch. Can't be a vegan without it. So we did that. That was good. And then we made fresh pasta the next day. How do you make fresh pasta without eggs? Well, first of all, most pasta doesn't have eggs. And second of all, it's actually super easy. It's just OO flour and semolina flour and water and oil, and it's easy. So we did that. Came out great. We participated in all that. That was amazing. We made this cool card using the laser cutter and a 3D printer. We made a little lithograph thing with a wood frame. That was cool. Yeah, it was a good day. Good day all around. Did lots of stuff. And then what else is good? Oh, yesterday, boy, I did a little thing. So we had a nice meeting with NVIDIA, which was cool. That's big deal to me to have a meeting like that. They mostly just were saying like what we were about again and trying to get us to like share some stuff with them so they could share it with other potential people who might want to use our stuff, which is awesome. But then at the very sort of at the end of the meeting, I did a little like instant demo of Live, and that was pretty cool. Like I suddenly like had the green thing on my face and the score in the corner. I'll show you guys that in a little bit, but like live mode. We did the very beginnings of that in the last stream. Now I've got it kind of dialed. It's still, there's definitely still room, but that was cool. That was cool. Thorns. I made this thing. So I made like these cool little gates. We have this like breezeway between our house and our garage. And we had this like cloth barrier thing that like stretches across. I got on Amazon, and it was falling apart. And finally, one of our dogs, Pixel, destroyed it. And so she was just like escaping. And so we couldn't have this. So I took spare stuff that we already had. We had a bunch of like wainscoting from the prior owner just sitting in our shed, and I took that, and I took some 1x4s. Were they 1x4s or 1x2? These little white boards, like finishing boards. And I made these like nice little gates, these little like 4 foot tall gates, and hung it on the side of the breezeway. Like there's like an arch that at the end of the breezeway. Put little casters on the bottom because they're quite heavy, and it came out great. But I'm trying to paint them. They need to be painted, and it keeps raining, and I can't paint them when it's raining, so I keep waiting for a dry day. And then I went to go paint them on a dry day. At the end of the day, I was like, it was supposed to rain and never materialized. I was like, the sun's about to set. I have just enough time to paint them. I go to open the can of paint that I bought at the hardware store, and it's no good. It's a solid brick. I had to return that. Now I'm waiting for another dry day. I'm trying to paint these gates. I mean, it's been a week-long saga. It was supposed to be a one-day project. I could have gotten it all done on the one day. It wasn't for the stupid paint and the stupid rain. I guess if that's my thorn, I'm doing all right. And then Bud, May is like crazy busy for us. I should add that to thorn. May is just like insane. I think it is for everyone, but it's especially crazy for us, and it always has been. It's one thing less crazy now. It used to be when we were living in Brooklyn. May was when we did the interactive show, which I produced for a long time. We had the Mother's Day, which is always a production in general. We had Wyatt's birthday. That's this weekend. That's my bud, Wyatt's birthday. And then we have a Burning Man event, like a local regional festival called Country Club, that we've gone to many times. I think this is the 14th time they've done it, and I've been to like 13 of them. I missed 2 years ago. It was the only time I've ever missed it. So we're doing that, and that I get involved with production there too. I used to like help lead production. That was a huge undertaking. Now I'm just doing like this parents thing. Still a lot of work, a lot of stuff, and I always pile on more stuff, and like doing art and all this other kind of crazy stuff. So May is just crazy. I'm gonna insert that in here. May is crazy. Always is. I'm looking forward to June. So that's my roast thorn bud. I still need a way to like ship this. Need to ship this somewhere into our internal Slack, or I still like have this somewhere public, but work on it later. We will take care of that later. So for now, I'm just gonna do, I guess this is the easiest way to do it. Wait, what is this? No. Okay. Yeah, I'll just erase. Bye-bye. Oh. There you go. Haha. So very good. I'll close this up. What we're going to work on today is, there's been a lot going on. Startups are always just like a roller coaster, and both in terms of like how you think things are going, but also in terms of just what your focus is. And more we've been talking to folks, and it seems like the thing that we need to start to focus in on is some of the other applications besides engagement, and especially safety, because it seems like safety is going to be our sort of foot in the door. And the more I think about it, the more I realize like it is not just really important, but it's really unique in the way that we do it, more so than just, I used to say a lot, we can see things that other cameras can't. Other cameras are picking up, even AI-enabled cameras are picking up, like, I see a person, or the person shouldn't be there, so that's an alert. Or maybe if they're real fancy, like I see a specific kind of event like a fall or a person that's not wearing safety gear when they should be, something specific. But our system will be able to say like, oh, something bad's happening because I see people who are kind of freaked out. And not only do we get to be able to do that, but like as long as we can see people who are seeing the problem, we can also pick up on the problem. The problem doesn't even have to be on camera. So in a very real way, we're like widening the angle of the camera. We're like getting more information by watching the people reacting to the problem. So what we'll be able to do is say, look, we don't want to replace your stuff. I'm glad you have this really cool Verkada system or whatever. And, we want to be additive to that. We just, drop in a piece of hardware. We link into your BMS's RTSP feeds, right? And just pick up on it. And then we look for this other kind of thing. And then the other stuff comes for free. If you want to like add on, if you want to start looking at engagement, because the thing is people like think engagement is cool, but they don't know what to do with it. So you do the safety thing and that gets you in the door. And then you start to show them like, oh, you could do this and that and the other thing with the engagement. Once they start doing it, then that becomes the real sort of draw. And then all of a sudden now we're making your cameras do a lot more than they were going to originally do. That's kind of the idea. So I'm working on that today. That's the goal. So what we're going to do is go back to our model improvement repo, and we're going to retool it. And I haven't decided whether I'm going to fork it, branch it, just keep going with it, or create a whole new repo. I got to think about that for a second. We'll do that. And then we have to find some examples of some like people reacting to unsafeness. That's a word. And then we'll work with Claude to try to iterate and come up with a profile that works for that. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'll switch gears over here. Boom. Make me money, save me money, never changes. 100%. Yep. And that's got to be like super clear. How you doing, Greg? Good to see you. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. What do you need to do? Well, first we need this. There we go. And I'm still congested. I should have put that on my thorn. It's been weeks. So I probably will have to take little like off camera, blow my nose stuff breaks. Make this a little bigger. We'll go into our workspaces, our model. Oh, the other thing we need is this guy. This man. Oh, you know what? Before I move on, before we do this, let's do a little cool thing. Let's do a cool thing. So I didn't show you guys this yet. This is what I did. It's funny, before we had that meeting, I got this thing working probably 2 minutes before the meeting. And then I took a chance and tried it and it worked. It was cool. All right, here we are, model improvement. All right, so but first, let's go into workspaces. Oops. Real time, yes. This one. All right, now we are going to need Media MTX. And we have the Media MTX YAML file. So now this guy is listening. Now I've got my OBS set up. Oops. I've got my OBS set up with another output. And this is what I did last time, but I've changed that output quite a bit. So now my secondary output is only outputting 10 frames a second at 640 by 360 and like a different set of encoding profiles, like a much faster encoding profile. So what we're going to do, I'm going to start that. So now we're outputting to media MTX, and you'll see over here, we got an SRT, we're publishing to path OBS, so we have that. Now one thing we can do is we can go into VLC. I got VLC over here. And we can go media, we can open network stream, and we go to localhost OBS. Hit that. Boom, there I am again. Oh, we don't want that. We don't want the audio though. Haha, look at that. It's an infinity mirror. I like the delay on the infinity mirror. That's pretty cool. All right, so there you go. All right, so now I can go over here. That was loud. I can go over here and set up my streaming thing, right? So
How about an anecdote? One time Patate, oh no, fired up that obsmediansful loop, and we got an infinity mirror so deep it looked like a hallway to regret. The best part was the delay. You'd wave, then like 12 tiny past yous would wave back in slow motion like a cursed marching band. Unsolicited advice. Mute audio before you summon the infinite screech dimension, and cap FPS unless you enjoy cooking your CPU. Also, fun fact, Infinity is just a fix it later with better marketing.
that was quite a TTS. She said something like, "Fired up that loop." Okay. Yeah, so let's do this. So streaming, we gotta look at what this is. All right, so what we need is URI, RTSP, localhost 8554 OBS. Okay, so that's where we're gonna pick up the stream. And then we're gonna set up web port 8000, and that'll be our overlay. Okay, now it's running. Things are happening. Oh, I put scoring into the pipeline now. So I'm not doing scoring just on the client side. So now we can do a lot more stuff. I originally made the decision to do scoring on the client side for expediency. I was like running up against a deadline, and it's just been like that ever since. And it's fine because it's actually super helpful to be able to do it in real time in the UI. But now we've got it in both places, so that's cool. Okay, so it kind of, for some reason, takes like a little time to kind of spin up. And I haven't figured that one out yet. But you'll be able to see, it'll start saying like, I've classified 1,000 faces, kind of thing. And then we'll know we can turn it on. Let me go ahead and just pop it on, and you can see. So we've got this UI here. This says engagement in the top right corner. And there's supposed to be an FPS meter too. We were working on that, but it was very last minute, and I haven't gotten to really dig into this yet. So let's just leave that running. Let's see if this eventually will come back, and my face will turn probably red to start, and then I'll make it turn green. We'll let that go for a hot little minute. See what's going on there. Meanwhile, we've got this model improvement repo, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to keep it as is, because we have this whole like experiments, hypotheses pattern that we've been using, and it's been working quite well. So what we're going to do is create a new experiment. So under docs, we have a whole wiki that lives in here that Claude manages. And we've got two kinds of things. A hypothesis is something that we use to try to improve the model. It's a test. And then an experiment is something that we do like, oh, well, can I do this? Like a little one-off thing. This will be an experiment. So this will be X005 safety profile.md. Okay, and there's a pattern for these. I'm gonna take this pattern, I'll copy paste it. Okay, and we are opening this on what is today? 5/12. And status is open. Does not have a parent. Okay. Beginning exploration. Creating alternative profile for safety monitoring. Goal. It actually should probably merge in the real-time stuff, because the scoring in the pipeline, I guess it doesn't matter because we have a separate scoring thing in here. Let's just our current profile focuses on using facial expressions only to measure engagement. We weight a set of emotions in a profile and then aggregate a score to produce final engagement score. We ultimately want support other outcomes such as safety and satisfaction. In this experiment, we will begin working on a profile that will measure safety by understanding how people in the scene are reacting. We will expand beyond facial expressions and into and start to leverage pose when it is available. This will form the basis of HO19. Which will be the beginning of the improvement loop for the safety profile. This experiment. I think H19 is already defined though. We gotta check. Oh, this is way out of date. Oh, Claude, buddy. But I'm pretty sure. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do it like he does it. Oh man! All right. I still don't see myself. I see it's not working. Maybe if I go camera only. Maybe it's because I did this. Let's try this real quick. Oh wait. Nope. Huh, I wonder why. Oh, there we go. Ah, that was the problem. It's too small. It's too small. Aha. Come on. Yeah. So 640 by 360 is not enough for my little guy in the corner. That's the problem. That is the problem. All right, I'm gonna shut this down. Okay. Very good. You saw it. Oh, I gotta close this too. Okay, now that'll figure that out in a minute. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is look, grep. Nope. Yep. grep-r H019. Actually, that was a bad idea. Let's just do a docs. Yeah, see? Alright, so let's just be vague about it. a new hypothesis line, which would be the beginning of the improvement loop, the safety profile. I hope that makes sense. Okay. All right. So there we go. All right. We need some prerequisites. In order to begin understanding how to measure for safety, or to score for safety, we will need some sample videos that we think are reasonable examples. There are not any good samples within the existing Raimondi baseball set, so we will need to look elsewhere. We could focus on YouTube, archive.org, or other sources. All right, let's start there. All right, so please review the new experiment document. I'm going to put this on auto mode. And this new experiment document and any related files. Then we will discuss how to proceed. Let's just do that. All right. I'm gonna need more coffee. All right, here we go. Should read this to you. X005 hopes to do experiment line, build a safety profile as a sibling to the existing engagement profile, which is just a weighted blend of the 53 emotions in profile.json scored by vscore.py. I need to change that 53 down to 40 because we killed a bunch of them later. It explicitly proposes go beyond facial expressions to incorporate pose and calls out that the Raimondi baseball corpus has no good safety samples. So step 0 is sourcing sample videos. How this fits the project stake. A few tensions worth flagging before we decide how to proceed. Critical path conflict. Roadmap MD is P003 active with a hard... Okay, 5 weeks out. Everything in the H line is focused on motion parity. Yes. Yes, okay, yes, I understand that. So it's saying that we were supposed to be focused on getting ready for the Hume sunset, which is about 5 weeks out. I think we're kind of there, but we could talk about it. Pose infrastructure already exists. Yep. Is a consumer of that data. Yes, that's exactly right. Likely overlap with the 13 dropped emotions. dropped emotions precisely because they need body, audio, scene, context. Several of these distress reports are in the 40 emotion scope. Plus, pose are exactly the signal of a safety profile would lean on. So this experiment is partly reopening of the multimodal question D001 deferred at post cutover. Box currently stubs, missing the X conventions. Yes, yes, yes. Safety is undefined. It's target crowd violence, altercations, medical events, falls, distress in individuals, crowd density, crush risk. Each implies very different sample videos and very different. Okay. Okay. All right. So. My sense of the current progress of the looming Hume sunset cut over is that we've reached enough of parity that the work on
There's a fact about enough.
Okay.
Enough is a determiner / pronoun meaning as much / many as needed, and it also works as an adverb after adjectives good enough, which is why enough of parity sounds normal, but still vague.
Okay. Fine. I'll still do it a different way. Was that a hint? That improvements had started to focus on the algorithm. Before we completely move on, let's discuss if there are any more needs for the Hume API as a source of truth, or if we think we can continue to progress with our own training data. To answer your question, all right, let's just start there. I wonder if... Here we go. The recent algorithm magnitude all runs against cache reference data. We have what we need permanently, yes. Okay. E5's explicit close-up val set TBD would never build. Last chance to get the close-up footage. Okay, well that's good. That's probably true. Yep. So harvest a holdout eval batch. Yeah, okay. All right, so what I want to do, since we have some weeks now before before we're on our own, let's focus on safety today and revisit option B. Be at a new in the near future. I think our focus there can be leveraging the TV capture data that we now have access to. Video plus let's see. Oh man, I gotta take a blow my nose break. I think so. The other thing I want to do is I want to get a couple things going in parallel. You don't have to look for it now. Let me actually just stop you. Stop you there. All right. Let me take a quick break, then we'll come back to this. All right, so be right back. This.
Microfocus, creators of visual programming tools for software development, is pleased to provide major funding for the Computer Chronicles, the story of this continuing evolution.
Gary, what I have here is a ROM chip in this cartridge, and I'm going to take this ROM chip and stick it inside this machine and load it in there and press a couple of buttons, and if everything works according to plan, this is an example of computer music, and computer music is our subject today. This little RAM pack, which I have over here, has 15 songs on it. Matter of fact, there's a ROM Chip of the Month Club now where you can buy your popular songs on a chip instead of on a cassette tape or on a record. This is a simple example, but how does a computer make music? How is it doing this?
Well, as you're aware, Stuart, this is a very special device. It's not a general-purpose computer. But most of the home computers that are available now, like the Commodore 64 or the IBM Personal Computer, have special hardware for sound generation or tone generation. And what you do is you write a program in BASIC or Logo or one of those languages, if you like, and then you can produce tones, series of tones, and a certain frequency and duration. And I understand there are also some software packages coming about that are like word processing packages, only it's for music processing or score processing. And it's going to be interesting today, I think, because we'll have some real experts that will tell us all about it.
Indeed we will. We'll be meeting Will Harvey, the author of Music Instruction Set. We'll see a demonstration of the Alpha Centauri music system. And there are two major centers for computer music in the country, one here in Northern California at Stanford. We'll be meeting the director of the Stanford Center later on in the program. First, let's go across the country to Cambridge, Massachusetts, and a visit to MIT's Experimental Music Studio. The use of computers in musical composing is not a new idea, but recent advances are giving composers a new degree of power over their medium, the ability to create and manipulate sound waves of their own design. Systems like MIT's Music 100 can dissect a note into its sound wave components. The composer can then make adjustments to each aspect of the note's physical characteristics independently and instantly. Specially developed music languages translate the sound processing as specified by the composer. From this input, a digital data stream is computed. Finally, the digital form is translated into a signal for amplification, pre-recorded, and played back over audio tape during the performance. A computer that can reassemble the building blocks of a sound wave opens up a new spectrum to the composer and the musician, a range of sounds beyond the natural limits of mechanical instruments and the human voice. In a sense, the music program can compose not only the score, but the instrument as well. The next step in computer-composer interaction is real-time production synthesis, a live interactive performance between computer and instrument. To achieve this kind of instantaneous but programmed manipulation requires very high-speed computers capable of several 100 million calculations per second. Okay, joining us now is Will Harvey. Will created Music Instruction Set, a hot piece of software being offered by Electronic Arts right now. And John Chowning. John is director of Stanford's Center for Computer Research in Music and Acoustics. Did I get that right?
Right. Karma, we call it.
Karma. Gary.
You know, I was just going to mention, I think with that Casio tone, I finally found an instrument that I can play.
I think we have some more here.
Right. John, I think it'd be worthwhile just to talk for a minute about the state of computer-generated music. Where are we at today?
Well, it's, I guess, nearly 20 years old since Bell Labs engineers and scientists first conceived the idea. And what's happened in the recent years is evident in things like personal computers, and that is large-scale integration. And what that means specifically as far as computer music is concerned is that we're getting more and more power in smaller and smaller units, which means that what was once in the lab now can be put in concert hall or into smaller environments.
Some purists, John, and maybe Will, you could talk from your end on this too, think that computers and music is somehow wrong, somehow depersonalizing composition and creativity. What role really does the
Okay. Now what I'm going to do is go to GitHub. If it's up. No, it might not be. I'm going to go to this guy. Browse the repos. And in here I got TV Training Minor. I got this guy. I'm going to bring him into my workspace. I confused you with this message. I have added the relevant TV Training Minor repo under this workspace, but you don't need to pay attention to that now. I will fork, begin in a session to work on leveraging that repo. For now, our next steps were: one, define what safety means operationally. Two, decide explicit timing. We're deciding to move forward today. Three. Okay. Tighten the dock. Tighten the dock. Let's finish our discussion and then take Safety. In my mind, any situation where people are outwardly concerned shows a potential safety risk. So, ideally, we should be able to pick up on a criminal concern as much as a health concern. Robbery, assault, threats, health concern, slip, fall, I don't know. I don't know. Injury.
Speaking of health, the WHO
Yes.
defines health as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity.
The focus on reaction to safety concerns to people's should also let us effectively see issues that are off camera but have people reacting on camera. Okay, here we go. Best viewers, love those viewers. Unhype.ru. Definitely want Russians. Sign me up, buddy. All right, so while you're thinking about this, what I'm going to do, I'm pretty sure I can do this, right? I can just make directory model provenant. I'm just gonna call it 2. And then I should just be able to, because if I just copied out everything, right? That way I'm gonna do 2 things in parallel. All right. What the outwardly concerned framing buys us. It reframes X005 from a new training data experiment to a signal extraction of existing model outputs experiment. Yes, that's what I'm saying. We already produced 53 emotions, safety profiles, weighted aggregation, no retraining. Yes. Off-camera but on-camera reactions is only solvable while reactor modeling. And that's exactly what the existing stack does. Yes. It's not a limitation, it's the differentiator. Correct. Detect pose is already wired. Yep. 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 Okay. This puts X005 in the same shape as X16, 17, and 18. Algorithm side post-processing, which means it's traceable, tractable. Good day. Simple version, weight concern adjustment won't discriminate well. 3 things matter beyond the weighting. Acute concern, not sustained negative effect. A boring movie produces sustained low engagement. A sad film produces sustained sadness. A safety event produces a spike. A sharp onset, fast spread. Yes, correct. Right. Coincidence across people. One distressed people face is noisy. Multiple unrelated people shifting concern in the same 1 to 2 second windows. Something happened. Yes. Okay. First cut from the 40 motion scope. Worth including from the drop to 13. None of them really fit. Okay. Okay. Let's draft A to update this doc. And let's do it as a plan to update the doc so we can do one more pass on making sure we're on the same page. Switch you to plan. Now, what are you doing over here? Man, my nose is still all snotty and gross. Oh, it's big. How am I doing on disk space? Because I'm getting a little... Where is 54? All right. The other thing I want to do is get a parallel path going on working on our friend. But that is hosted in such a way that it would be really hard for me to do that because it's running in for Windows. I don't know how I would remote into that, into my streaming PC to do that. I mean, I guess I could just not do it live and get a second copy going, but more fun to do it live. Hey, what are you doing? Yeah, you do it. You do that. Think about it. It's honing in on this. We captured this one thing like during after the season, a movie night at Raimondi Park, but it was a total dud. So we're gonna have to nix that one. I can see why we'd be looking at that, but copying. Still going. How big is this directory? Oh, it's all in WSL too, right? So it's gonna be like slow. I'm gonna bother. I'm not even gonna, you know what I can do? I can do here. Boop, boop. Boop. And I'm gonna go du-h, boop. Oh, it's got all the training data in it. Yeah, that's gonna be real big. It's real big. Hmm. 197 gigabytes. Holy moly. Wait a minute. Is that gonna fly? That might not even work. I got 431 available. All right. First run Corpus. Now, we're not going to wait for TV. Other. I would like to set the stage for the profile to define how pose fits into scoring. So score should be extended with a profile, and that profile should contain more than just motion weights. Okay, that one. Why won't you let me move forward? All right, fine, go here. Include post features in the first pass, face only first cut. I think that's fine. Yep. Yep. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. Is this true?
Is this true? Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
All right. I'm starting to regret starting this. Maybe I should kill this. In fact, I'm gonna just do that. I'm gonna do just that. I'm gonna kill this. Uh-oh. I got a call. I gotta answer. Hang on. Hello?
It's hard to imagine the modern world without the internal combustion engine. It's used to drive such a vast variety of machines, including, of course, the car. It was the invention of the engine that made the whole idea of the car possible. The principle on which it works is really quite simple. It's really just like a cannon, the explosive fuel forcing out whatever's inside the barrel. This is actually a firework mortar, and it forces out this cylindrical shell, and the explosive fuel is the gunpowder in the bottom. Put it in here. The internal combustion engine is really just the same, except it has a captive piston instead of the shell, and it uses an explosive vapour instead of the gunpowder. Although the idea is very simple, it hasn't been easy to tame the violent energy of all these explosions thousands of times a minute. In this programme, I'm going to look at this wild, unlikely contraption and also at its fuel. Almost all internal combustion engines use a fuel based on crude oil. This naturally seeps out of the ground in places and has been known about since ancient times. It had a variety of uses, but not as a fuel. It's mentioned several times in the Bible. Noah was instructed by God to use it for waterproofing his ark. It was only in the 19th century that oil's potential as a fuel was realised and people started drilling and refining it. One of the products of the refining was a volatile gas oil, or petrol. The petrol was at first regarded as a completely useless byproduct. Its vapour was so dangerously inflammable. But it was also realised that it was an enormously potent source of energy. We can show you this with this modified firework mortar. This obviously isn't an experiment to do at home, but if Rex puts a teaspoonful of gunpowder down the mortar and using the lager can as the projectile, oh dear, well, it is not very powerful. Well, now we're going to compare this with a teaspoonful of petrol and see how far that goes. This time we're igniting it with a spark plug in the side. You can see what an enormous amount of energy there is in the petrol. Although it's hard to believe, this isn't actually an explosion. It's just a very rapid combustion, a very rapid fire. The early internal combustion engines were often called explosion engines, though, and I think it's really a much more appropriate name. The great attraction of the explosion engine is the enormous power it has for its size and weight. This is the smallest engine we could find, complete with fuel tank behind, used for model aeroplanes. Even this has enough power to pull Rex round at quite a speed, though it takes a bit of time to gather momentum. The power of any modern car engine is quite awesome. Even a basic one is rated at about 60 horsepower. That's literally equivalent to the power of 60 horses. The first successful explosion engine was built by an inventor called Etienne Lenoir in 1859. He simply threw away the boiler of a steam engine and modified it so that it would ignite the piped gas supplied for lighting. Unfortunately, the violence of the explosions tended to damage the piston and valves, and it was much less efficient than the original steam engine.
Monsieur, qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? Ça suffit, ça suffit, alors de la pluie, hein.
However, his engine inspired other inventors, including a German wholesale grocery salesman called Nicholas Otto.
What is lost? Herr Otto. Enchanté.
Otto came up with an engine that was much more efficient. His engines were immediately successful, and he sold over 35,000 to power factories and workshops. One of the first Otto engines to be built in Britain was the 1895 Hornsby Ackroyd. It all still looks very like a steam engine, but it runs on paraffin, another product of refining crude oil. It first has to be heated to make it an inflammable vapor. It's a two-man job to start it, and it never goes round faster than 100 times a minute. What's going on inside is that first the vapor is sucked into the cylinder. Then it's compressed, ignited, and finally...
Oh, now I'm back. I wish it didn't take so long for the music to come on. It feels like really awkward, quiet. Then come back from a break now.
You know, Answer reminds me of an anecdote. One
Tell me.
time Pod 8 Oh No tried to just copy the dataset real quick off WSL,
That was
and
a
it
terrible
turned
idea.
into a 200 GB trust exercise with the progress
Totally.
bar.
It was
Halfway
horrible.
through, they said, "Is this true?" Like the terminal was gaslighting them, then rage killed it and declared victory. Unsolicited advice. If it's huge, don't CP it or sync it, or better yet, don't move it at all, and point your code at the source. Also, training date is my favorite typo because it implies the model needs emotional support before it learns.
Mm-hmm. I like how I remember this story, and it's just literally like almost a word for word, just a repeat of what I just said a few minutes ago. What a story. Amazing. Nice job. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. All right, very good. Where are you? Accept this plan. All right, yeah, let me read it. Let me read your plan. Uh-huh. Yep. Uh-huh, 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 uh-huh. Yep, 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 yep. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, yep, yep. Okay. Yeah, I really like that. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I don't like this. I don't think we should use any Ramondi data for testing this other than a smoke test. Even the earthquake reaction was questionable. People in Oakland are pretty used to earthquakes. Comment again. Can I make another comment? Add a comment. Let's make step 4, sourcing potential test videos, and step 5, the establishment of a baseline on those videos. Meanwhile, let's just do it like this. Meanwhile, if I wanted to run multiple experiments and hypotheses, yes, in parallel, what is the best way to do that? The workspace now runs weighs in at approximately 200 gigabyte with all of the training data. I started making a copy to just work in a completely separated environment, but paused when I realized I was eating 25% of my disk. We pause and refactor to move training data and other large data sets into a shared storage environment. I know what the answer is. I don't even need to ask you that. I'm asking you too many. See, this is getting to be a bad habit. I know what to do. That's exactly what I need to do. I need to move all this training stuff into a separate directory and symlink it. All right, what are we doing? Today's main sourcing pass goal: swallow license clear corpus for a reactor. Yep. Yep. Okay. You. That's exactly what I said. Get work tree. I never used work tree. Well, yes, that's fine. Okay. I want to ask for edits. I want to close these because I want to just talk about work tree. How does get work tree work? I've never used it. Keeps running deltas in each tree. Tree branch. All right, meanwhile, what we're going to do here is cd workspaces, make directory shared, and we're going to model improvement, face emotion training, data, and du-h. $77 gigs right there. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to move data to workspaces. Actually, make directory -p workspaces shared face emotion training data. No, just that. And now we're going to move data workspaces shared face emotion training dot. Now we're going to symlink workspaces shared face emotion. Nope. Face emotion training data here. All this data. Very good. All right, very good. Now, where else do we have all this? Is it? What's in dev data? U-H. Oh, no, there's 71 gigs right here. Holy moly, what is all this crap? Huh. Put this back here. Okay. Ah, I see. Okay, cool. All right, dev data, checkpoints, data, plus 11 gigs of bends. Okay. Move the heavy trees, shared, yep. And actually, I'm gonna go like this. Face emotion training. Data is a symlink. I'm gonna remove that symlink. Now I'm gonna go ... I'm gonna move shared to model improvement shared. Okay, now I'm gonna go to model improvement. And I'm gonna go face emotion training and symlink it. Okay, that way I know. All right, now I can move dev data to workspaces. Data, no, shared. Dev data. Great. Need checkpoints. Is any training runs? I don't know if I want to send like Venv. I guess I could. Okay. 20 gigs there. Move. All right, so make directory -p. Workspaces, null improvement data. Oh, share. Video.
How about an idea? Make an improvement manifest file in the model_improvement workspace. List every dataset / checkpoint path, size, get #/commit, and a one-line why this exists note. Then only promote runs to /checkpoints if they have metrics plus config saved next to them. Otherwise, they live in /scratch and get auto-purged. Unsolicited advice. Your future self will thank you when you're not spelunking through 71 GB of what is all this crap?
Okay. All right. Now, the last one is training runs. That's not big. Baseline runs. That's getting bigger, but I don't think it's okay. Let's go ahead and do it. Wait, which of these is not in get ignore? Both of them. Oh, well, kind of both of them. We are keeping some baseline run stuff, so let's just leave them for now. Let's just leave them for now. It's fine. 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 So now it is 29 gigs, much better. Okay. All right, where are we at over here, buddy? Oh, not you. You. You want to do something else? All right, do it. Do it. I see. Where is... Let me try something. I want to see something. If I go to Anarchy, that's my streaming PC. Well. I can't SSH there. Can't get there from here. Alright, well, we'll come back to that later. Oops. I believe yeah, it's running. So what's saying is, it created the first safety profile. It ran on some existing videos. They all triggered it because distress and pain and confusion keep coming up anyway. Yeah, the weights are bad. So, okay. So, adopt counterfactual weights, continue. Okay, I cannot autonomously curate copyrighted footage. What I can do is propose specific public domain or Creative Commons license clip that match the sourcing criteria with timestamps so you could confirm or redirect. Let me build that proposal list. How would you like to handle video sourcing? I'll source the clips, you draft the corpus structure. The README. Okay. All right, so I want to check something out. Yeah, WSL config. Ow. Okay. All right, where we at? The Raimondi smoke surfaced a structural issue worth pulling out. The candidate concerned adjacent emotions inherited the model's known overfiring bias. Distress, pain, confusion, plus anxiety produce 99% of safety profile signal on a happy crowd at baseline, drowning out the rare emotions, horror, fear we actually want. Counterfactual cleared the smoke cleanly on RBI 9-0, peak 21.8. RBI 1-0 stays louder, peak 276, but the firing is fear horror dominated and clusters in plausible suspense moments interpretable under the user's definition as legitimate low-grade safety signal and a useful practical noise floor for interpreting future positives. We have a moment to source clips. Procedure in that directory's read mode runs through. Okay, so now let's go look at that. This is going to be the hard part, finding clips. Oh, well. Okay. All right. All right. Yeah, I don't even know where to begin. Okay, let's start with a strategy for searching archive.org for potential clips. I could blindly start putting search terms into their search engine, but I suspect that will not result in the best.
How about a quote? Search isn't typing random words into a box. It's deciding what you're looking for, where it's likely to live, and what proof you'll accept when you find it.
Great, thank you.
Cool, strategy time. Start on archive.org with advanced search and filter to movies plus public domain or Creative Commons. Then sort by downloads so you're not scraping the bottom of the barrel. Use vibe queries like suspense, stalker, shadow, Chase, Basement, Storm, Scream, Door Creek, Night Street, plus decade tags. 30S divided by 40S divided by 50S for better hit rates. Then open promising items and skim the transcript if available, or jump by thumbnails to find 1030's fear/horror beats with clean context. Unsolicited advice. Make a tiny spreadsheet. URL, timestamp start/end, emotion label. Why It Works Future You will send present you a gift basket. Also, if another bot starts spamming free clips here, I'm throwing it in the digital trash.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's write a script. Maybe we can script can include collections and can be configured with collections and search terms. It downloads matching transcripts and then uses an LLM to determine sentiment and likelihood of a match, like TV rating minder does. From there, I can view the clips. Okay, dokie. Man, I'm so full of beans at the beginning of these streams, and then by the time I get like an hour and a half in, about 2 hours in, I'm like, just like real quiet. I get like kind of like honed in. It can't be the most interesting thing to watch. It's still helpful for me to do this though. Maybe I need a little like something sweet, a little sugar. Put a little sugar in the tank. Let me do that. I'll blow my nose again too. All right, be right back.
Who says online users are a bunch of antisocial geeks? Look, here we are in this nice cafe, drink in hand, friendly people, and we're surfing the net. This is the Icon Bite Bar and Grill in San Francisco, where you get the best of both worlds, real people and virtual people. You can come in here and sit down, have a drink, socialize, and check out some cool websites, look at your email, or log on to your favorite news groups. Today, we'll show you the growing power of the internet on this edition of the Computer Chronicles.
Computer Chronicles is made possible in part by Hewlett-Packard, working with industry leaders to ensure compatibility across the board and across the network. HP PCs, you're looking at partnership in a whole new light.
Additional funding provided by Intel, makers of the Intel Pentium processor. And by Progress Software, client-server development tools for enterprise-class information systems.
Hi, and welcome to the Computer Chronicles. I'm Stuart Chaffee. With me today is John Markoff, West Coast correspondent for the New York Times. Welcome, John.
Thank you.
All right, we're talking about the internet. As a journalist, I know you use the net a lot. Show me some of your favorite things to do on the net.
Well, electronic mail is what I do most, and it allows me to stay in touch with lots of people in the industry. Here you see a message that I got from Steve Jobs, for example.
Electronic mail.
Electronic mail is great, but when you're in my
mail.
position, you
It's
start getting
amazing.
hundreds or even thousands of messages each.
Let me make sure VLM's running locally. I think it is. Curl localhost 8556. It is not. Problem is, if I start hitting anarchy, I start dropping frames. Okay. Thought I installed this though. Oh, well, system control's not even running. Alright, well, let's just run it. Listen, bud. Okay. Bleedle do, bleedle do, bleedle do. All right, so we set up on anarchy. What were we gonna use for this? Quin257B. Yes. Quin257B. Yes, Cuban B.
I'm gonna kill him. I'm Cuban B. Yes, Cuban B.
Yes. Stupid. So dumb. It's very dumb. All right. Is there a log? Do you log? Fatal state. Oh no. There's a leaked semaphore. Oh no. Don't want any leaked semaphores. That's just real bad. Can I just run it? Already in use. Dude. Did you just... Listen, man. Listen, buddy. This thing is running somewhere. Come on, man. I don't want to deal with this. I just want it to work. I'm mad about it now. Oh, fine. Let's just do this. Harpoon's not doing nothing. Right? Curl localhost 11434. Oops. Llama's running. Great. Use Olama on Harpoon. Yeah. Yep. Cool. You ever have so much coffee you get tired again? That's what I feel like happened to me. You know what's weird? Okay, so here's something weird. Curl anarchy 8556. No, okay. How did that ever work? For a localhost 8556. Oh, it's not running. Okay.
It's interesting you mention running. Sounds like half your stuff is running the way I'm running on coffee. Technically alive, spiritually offline. Unsolicited advice. Add a one-liner health check plus log tail, like curl localhost, port/health and entail, and 50 logs, so you stop guessing which service is actually up. Also, maybe pick one source of truth for ports, env file, compose, whatever, before localhost turns into whack-a-mole. Last time you said just run it potate, oh no, accidentally ran 3 copies and called it horizontal scaling.
You're so confused now.
Yeah, I'm confused, says the human talking to localhost like it owes them money. Check what's listening, Mulsof, ITCP, SDSP, listen, npgrep, E1143485556. Then hit it directly. Curl, vhttp://127.0.0.1:1143/, or whatever port you actually started. Story time. Last time you swore llama's running, it was just a sad Docker container taking a nap.
This is just not running now. Man. With something, man. I don't want to do this. Alright, leave that alone. Who cares? Come back to it. Alright, Oloma's running. Okay, great. I don't think we want it. I think metadata is okay. Yeah, that's what we want. Yes, exactly. That's what we talked about. We're over here. Oh, work tree list. Okay, so to be clear, what I would want to do is check out the file improvement repo again in another directory. Create a branch. No, I don't actually have to do that. Okay, so I would to work on a TV minor, let's say an experiment X06 in parallel, we would hit checkout -B X006 TV training minor. Hit add work tree add dot X006 my dash X006 BBC News. Okay. Grill it up, Curly. Oh, man. Well, so much for the little sugar boost. Still quiet. All right. So, no, I don't want to do that. Place archive of YouTube search adapter using DLP auto captures universe on YouTube. No authors, uses much larger reactor style content pool. Reuses 90% of the script, just watch server. Okay, both. Let's do both. Okay, well, what's the problem? Okay. I hate mining YouTube though. So, wait a minute. Because you're saying the TV News Archive doesn't have on here. But look, it does. Look at all this text. Stream only. Okay. Let's see. Well, fucking shit, dude. Alf. Search Alf. It's Blip TV, look at that. Oh my god. Oh, there's a lot of bad stuff on Blip. Look at that. Oh, this is all surfaced to the top. I see. That makes sense. Yes, there was a lot of stuff that we tried to delete but we're not successful at. Man, we worked so hard to make all this like copyright and naughty friend free, and both failed and were punished for it. Anyway. All right. All right, so here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna keep going on this, but I'm gonna do it offline. Yeah, I got a call in 30 minutes anyway. I'm gonna eat something, do the call, then keep going, and then.
It's interesting you mention happen. The question isn't what will happen, it's what you'll do when it does. Unsolicited advice, Fatate. Do it offline. Sure, but leave yourself a breadcrumb trail so future you doesn't rage quit the mystery all over again.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably back on Thursday. Probably. Oh, it's a crazy week. That's the goal. But I'm glad I got a little stream in. Got to say hello. So, thanks for popping in. And see you next time.